Okay, good evening everyone. Kumusta po? Kumusta po ang lahat? Kumusta? So, meron po tayong drills ngayon. Paki-share po ng ating live discussion. Okay. So, ayan teachers. Okay. So, our drills will begin soon. Paki-share po ng ating live discussion sa ating mga kapwa natin TLE takers this incoming September 2025 board examination. Paki-share po nitong live discussion natin ngayon. So this is pre-let review and drills for incoming September 2025 board examination. So, sino po yung mga nanonood dito? Tingnan natin kung sino mga viewers natin. Shout out sa mga viewers natin. Kay Sir Miguel, shout out sa inyo. Okay. Sino pa? Ayan, shout out sa mga viewers natin na nanonood ngayon. Okay. So, pass drills lang po tayo mga ma'am and sir. Okay, I hope makatulong to sa inyong lahat. So, ayan. Di ako makapag-share. Kayo na lang po ang mag-share ng ating live discussion ngayon. Okay, di ko alam kung bakit. Shout out kay Ma'am Marieta de la Peña Pellegrino. Shout out sa inyo, ma'am. Di kasi ko makapag-send dun sa natin. Drills. Ating GC. Okay, medyo busy-busyhan ako for today's video. So, this is pre-drills po, pre-live. Okay? So, ayan, I hope makatulong to sa inyo sa mga TLE let takers ngayon. Okay. So, pa-share na lang po ako sa mga gustong makapasa ngayong September. Okay, teachers. Start tayo with question number 1. Wag na nating patagalin pa ang ating discussion ngayon. So, dito tayo sa question number 1. Okay, magkape tayo, teachers. Okay. So, ayan, teachers. Let's start with question number 1. Okay. In grade 7 and grade 8, the TLE courses are blank and a nature. So, ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito, teachers, is the grade 7 and the grade 8. So, anong meron sa TLE courses nila? Nasa ang nature ba yon? Is it a basic, intermediate, exploratory, or advanced? Saan ba siya pasok, mga ma'am and sir? Saan siya papasok? Sige nga, kung alam natin kung ano ba talagang tamang sagot, saan siya pasok? Saan siya pasok, mga ma'am and sir? Okay. In grade 7 and grade 8, the TLE courses are in a nature. So, is that basic, intermediate, exploratory, or advanced? So, ayan. Past drills lang po tayo, mga ma'am and sir, ha? Hindi po ito pang, hindi ito masyadong mahabang ating drills. Okay, so is that a basic, intermediate, or exploratory? So teachers, pag grade 7 and grade 8, automatic nasa exploratory po siya. Okay? Saan nga po? Nasa exploratory. So in question number 1, the answer is letter C. Letter C is the correct answer po, mga ma'am and sir. Hindi po siya basic. Di natin masasabing basic. Nasa exploratory po ang grade 8 and grade 7. So, sa nature po ng TLE courses, lagi nyo pong tatandaan, teachers, meron tayong 4 na category. Okay. So, we have a basic skills development. We have exploratory learning, we have an hands-on experience, and also yung pang-apat is the preparation for future learning. So, nasa 4 na category po yan kung aaralin natin yung TLE courses. So, let's start with basic skills development. So, pag sinabi nating basic skills development, so teachers, ang TLE courses po ng basic development courses, and this level po, they aim to introduce the student as a fundamental concept and skills. Ino-introduce na muna natin yung mga concept and skills sa mga students natin. Because pag sinabi natin basic skills development, this is the foundational approach, mga ma'am and sir. Bakit meron tayong tinatawag na foundational approach? Because we need to ensure that all students, have their own prior experiences or knowledge that can engage with the materials effectively. Okay, so since pinag-uusapan natin si grade 7 and grade 8 and TLE courses, the answer is exploratory learning. Bakit sinabi kong exploratory learning ito, teachers? Because exploratory learning based on the curriculum structure. Okay, based on the curriculum structure po, they allow the student to explore different areas within a technology and livelihood education. Katinawag nating exploratory. So based in exploratory, the nature po is to encourage the student to discover their interest. Ano ba ang gusto ng bata? Interest, aptitude, in a different various fields such as what? Ang skills ko magluto, ang skills ko is sewing, ang skills ko is marunong akong mag-woodworking. Alam niyo yung mga basic type of wood joint. Yung iba naman magaling sa electronic, sa pagsusulda. So, sa 7 and 8 po, hinahayaan natin ang bata, ang mga estudyante na mag-explore. Ano ba ang gusto nila? Magaling akong magluto. Ay, magaling ako sa pananahi. So, ito yung gusto ko. Okay, so yun yung tinatawag nating exploratory. So tandaan ha, sa 7 and 8, ang TLE courses po is nasa exploratory. So pag sinabi naman nating hands-on experience, alright, so alam na alam nyo to, di ba mga teachers? Okay, shout out kay Aubrey Nicole Dakis. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Okay, hands-on experience. Ginagamit ba natin ito pag mag-OJT lang. Okay. Pag sinabi nating hands-on experience, it is the component of TLE courses. Okay, ano nga po ulit si hands-on experience? It is the significant component of a TLE courses is a hands-on learning. So, ibig sabihin po, ang mga estudyante pwedeng mag-participate in a practical activities. Bakit? Kailangan nating mag-participate ang mga estudyante na practical activities because we need to reinforce that theoretical knowledge through the real-world applications, through experimental learning. Tandaan, ang experimental learning po is a very crucial skills acquisition. That's why nagkakaroon ng practical activity sa TLE subject. Okay, nag-discuss ka, na-discuss mo lahat ng concept. Ang kasunod niyan is practical, hands-on activities. Okay, tinuro mo kung paano mag-bake ng cake. Naturo mo yung mga procedure kung paano gawin yung cake, paano lutuin, paano i-bake. So, ang gagawin mo as a teacher, as a instructor, pag alam mo na ang mga estudyante is, alam na nila yung procedure, ready na sila for the hands-on experience. Okay. So, kaya meron tayong tinatawag na practical activities. So, aside of that, the preparation for future learning. Ano naman si preparation of future learning, teachers? It is the course of foundational. Yan yung tinatawag nating preparational. Okay, so ibig sabihin, they also serve as a stepping stone for advanced studies in a high school or even in a vocational training program. So the skills learned in grade 7 and grade 8 are intended to prepare the student for more specialized subject later on. Okay, so kaya ang iba magaling sa computer. Okay, dun sila pag mas gusto ko mag-computer. So pagdating ng ibang higher level, tumataas at tumataas sila. All right. So now, in-discuss ko lahat yung specific key point. So, ang TLE courses po in grade 7 and 8 are primarily designed to be an exploratory nurture. Because in grade 7 and 8, the focus of this is providing a broad introduction or the various topics rather than dealing deeply into any one area. So, that's why the answers is letter C. Clear po ba mga ma'am and sir? Clear po ba yung discussion natin? Alright. So, next, we proceed to the question number. Next question na tayo. Number 2. It is used to indicate the centers of holes, arcs, and symmetrical object. So, teachers, ito naman mga ma'am and sir, nag-i-indicate ng center of a holes. Okay. Si center line po ba siya? Si hidden line? Si dimension line? Or si section line? O, sa mga viewers natin dyan, ano ang sagot? If you know the answer, paki-comment po sa mismong comment section. It is used to indicate the center of the holes, arcs, and symmetrical object. A, is that a center line? B, is that a hidden line? C, is it a dimension line? Or letter C, dimension line? Or letter D, it is a section line. So now, teachers, what is the correct answers in question number 2. All right. So, I'll give you 1 minute para sagutan po ang katanungan na yan. Okay. By the way, pakishare po ako ng ating discussion. So, it is pre-drills po. Okay. So, ayan. Shout out kay Aubrey Nicole Dakis, kay Ma'am Marieta de la Peña Pellegrino, and also for Kay Sir Peter Martin. Okay, shout out sa inyo, Sir Peter. Okay, isa ito, yung iba mga viewers dito is mga LPTs na po. Okay, LPTs na yung karamihan dito, mga madam. Okay, so ito po, anong isasagot natin dyan? Ano bang magandang kasagutan dyan? Ano bang kasagutan natin dyan, mga ma'am and sir? Okay, sa mga nagme-message, di ko pa po kayo ma-replyan sa ngayon. Okay, very good. The answer is letter A. Is that a center line? So, kung makikita nyo po, may tinatawag tayong holes, arcs, and symmetrical object. So, naka-indicate na po dyan yung center. Okay, so the answer is letter A. Very good sa mga sumagot. The answer is letter A. Center line. Bakit po natin sinabing it is a center line? Bakit hindi si dimension line? Bakit hindi si section line? Ano ang dahilan? Bakit hindi siya yung tamang sagot? Okay. So, isa-isahin natin ang pagkakaiba ni Haydn, ni center line, ni dimension line, and also ni section line. Ano ba ang pagkakaiba ng apat na to? Okay, let's start. Si Haydn line. Ano ba si Haydn line? Pag from the word Haydn, nagtatago po, ma'am. Di po siya makita. Kaya nga po Haydn. Tama ba? Okay. Si Haydn line po, uulitin ko, it is used for a technical drawing. Okay. Anong nire-represent ni Haydn line? They represent an age or boundaries. Ano nga ang nire-represent ni letter B? They represent, okay, pagpasensyahan nyo ng aking mouse, nagloloko. They represent the age and boundary. Okay. Siya yung nire-represent niyan. Boundaries. So that's why they are not directly visible. Hindi po siya directly visible because they are obscured by other parts of the object. So pag sinabi nating hidden lines, it is typically drawn as evenly spaced dashes. May mga dashes po siya, while hidden line po are very important for showing a concealed features that they do not indicate the center line has a hole. Okay po. So, pag sinabi naman nating dimension line, teachers, ginagamit ulit ito for the technical drawing. Ang nire-represent naman po ni dimension line is to show measurement. Ano nga ang inaano ni dimension line? To show measurement. O, alam nyo na yan. To show measurement. Yun yung nire-represent ni dimension line. To show the measurements such as a length. Nasa dimension line yan, yung length, width, diameters, ano pa ba? So, yung mga angles, yun po yung nire-represent ni dimension line. Okay, so aside of dyan, itong dimension line po open to work as an arrowhead, both ends, and includes a numerical value. Okay, nag-indicate po siya for a numerical value to specify po a dimension. So, ang dimension line po, teachers, they provide a critical information, teachers, including na po rito yung mga size and skills that they do not serve and purpose for indicating a center. So, that's why dimension line is very important. So, next is section line. Tandaan niyo po, teacher, section line is what? Section line is used for a sectional view. Ginagamit po natin sa section line for a sectional view of a technical drawing po. So, itong area na po ito, they indicate that, kumbaga, yung section line then can cut through during a cross-sectional view. Okay, sa cross-sectional view. So, that's why section line is typically drawn for at angle within the cut area to distinguish po it from the other part of the drawing. So, that's why section line are not indicated as a center as a whole. Okay, so si center line po ang tamang sagot. Bakit si center line ang tamang sagot? Okay. Kung aaralin natin, ang center line po is a type of a line used in technical drawing, especially for engineering design. Tama po ba? Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's why center line, they will represent the axis or a center of a circular feature such as a hole. So kasama po dito yung mga arc and symmetrical objects. So that's why it is typically drawn as a long dash followed by a short dash. Now, una po si long followed by the short dash line. Nakapattern po ang center line. Maliwanag po ba? So that's why it is very essential for indicating a symmetry and also for the alignment of mechanical parts of architectural design. So that's why center line, it is highly relevant for the question. So next, third question. The temperature degree zone for potential hazardous food is blank. Again, the temperature, again, ang tinutukoy natin is the temperature degree zone for potential hazardous food is blank. A, is at 4.4 to 60 degrees centigrade. Or is it B, 3.9 to 23.9 degrees centigrade? Or C, 22.2 to 43.3 degrees centigrade, or letter D, 29.4 to 71.1 degree centigrade. So na teachers, I'll give you 1 minute para sagutan po si question number 3. Ang tinatanong is the temperature degree zone for a potential hazardous food is blank. Okay. Is that a 4.4 po ba to 60 degree? Ayan. Shout out sa viewers natin kay Sir Peter. Okay. Thank you for watching and also sa iba pang nanonood. Maraming salamat po. So, ayan teachers. Ano bang sagot? Ano ba ang isasagot natin dito? Yan, pag-isip-isipan, pag-nilay-nilayan kung ano ba ang tamang sagot sa question number 3. Okay, ano po ba ang sagot? Ayan. Okay, shout out sa 6 viewers natin. Okay, i-share po natin. Ako'y nag-share ng ating live discussion ngayon. Okay. So, ayan. Okay. So, teachers, shout out sa inyong lahat. So, based on this question, very good, Ma'am Marietta. You got the correct answer. Based on this question po, the answer is letter A. Very good. Bakit po letter A is the correct answers? Bakit? Bakit si letter A is the correct answer? Hi, shout out kay Ma'am Naylin, Florida. Okay, teachers, explain ko po to sa inyo ha. The answer is letter A. Okay, is it A? Okay. So, pag temperature of degree zone po, especially for hazardous food, dapat po nasa 4.4 to 60 degrees centigrade. Bakit po? So, teacher, alamin natin kung ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng hazardous food. 'Di ba? Pag sinabi nating hazardous food, they include food that are high in a moisture and also in a protein such as meat, meat, dairy products. Aside of that, we have egg and cooked rice or pasta. So yan po yung mga tinatawag nating hazardous food. So this type of food po can support a rapid growth of bacteria. So if hindi po natin ito na-stored or na-cook, it is sa safe temperature, magkakaroon ng problem. So, the temperature range po according to the US or United States, okay, especially in the Food and Drug Administration or FDA po, in other food safety authorities, the temperature po, they range in which this food can become hazardous is typically defined as between of 4 degrees Celsius or 39 degree Fahrenheit and 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degree Fahrenheit. So ito po, dito po nagre-range. Okay, so dyan po nagre-range ang hazardous food. So based on this option, si letter B po is 3.9 to 23.9 degrees centigrade, right? So, yan po si letter D, ay si letter B, right? So, ito po, itong 39.9 to 23.9 degrees centigrade, itong range na po ito, it does not encompasses the higher end of temperature when the bacteria growth can occur. So, si letter C naman, naka-indicate dyan is 22.2 to 43.3 degrees centigrade. So, they include some temperature within the danger zone. So, that's why it is not covered for the full spectrum for unnecessary for a potential hazardous food. So, si 29.4 to 71.1 degree naman, itong option na to, they include a temperature about the danger zone on and the end and below to another. So that's why, pag hazardous food, the correct answer is letter A. Because 4.4 to 60 degrees centigrade po, naka-indicate po ito sa Food and Drug Administration according to the United States. So, yun po ang tamang sagot. Letter A. So, next, ito. What does N stand for in construction? Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng NTS sa construction? Okay, is it NATO scale or National Topographic System or notification to supply or National Trench Safety? So what is the meaning of NTS in construction? So what is the correct answer? What is the correct answer? And question number 4 na ata tayo, number 3. So ayan, what does T and NTS stand for in construction? Is that NATO scale, National Topographic System? Is that notification to supply? Or National Tech Trench Safety? So what is the answer? So what is the answer? Okay. All right. Sabi, okay. So, yung iba sumasagot. Mm. So, anong sagot? Very good, Ma'am Marietta. The answer is not to scale. Very good. Not to scale is the correct answer. Sa construction po, ang sagot is not to scale. Okay, letter A is the correct answer. Very good, ma'am. You got the correct answer. This is the correct answer based on the stand for the construction. NTS po is not to scale. Bakit? The abbreviation po ng NTS is frequently stand for a not to scale. So it means in architectural and engineering drawings po, teachers, they will indicate the dimensions shown in a drawing po are not proportional. Hindi po siya naka-proportion. So ibig sabihin, hindi siya proportional to the actual measurement. Meaning po that the drawing is intended for illustrative purposes that can be used for a measurement. That's why they present the construction for a fabrication purposes. Okay, sa letter C po is wrong answer. Notification to supply. So, mali po si notification to supply. Bakit naging mali si letter C? Si Charlie. Ang ibig sabihin po ng notification and to supply, it is good, theoretical, and logistic or procurement context with a construction project. But it is not widely recognized for the definition of NTS. So that's why it does not have the same level of the standardization or recognition of other definition. So mali rin po si letter B, National Topographic System, kasi ito pong National Topographic System, it is not relevant in a certain geographical or planning in the context. So that's why it is not common by the interpretation of NTS, especially po within the construction practices. Because that term, this term, National Topographic System po, it is pertain a mapping of a geographic information system rather than the direct sinasabi nating direct construction terminology. So that's why B is wrong answer, and also national safety. So based on the regulation and practice, they related to the trenching operation po. That's why it is kumbaga it is very crucial preventing incidents during the excavation work. So however, it is very important because this phrase po does not represent common and NTCS. So that's why letter A is the correct answer. So mali po si letter B. Letter D is wrong again. So next, we proceed this. Which of the following research design? Okay, ang pinag-uusapan natin, the word research design. Okay, it is best suited for investigating the cause and effect relationship between variables. So, is that a correlational design? Is that the experimental design? Or is that the observational design or descriptive design? So, what is the correct answer? And based on this question, sige, bigyan ko kayo ng 1 minute para sagutin ang katanungang ito. Ayan. Is it the correlational? Is it the experimental? Or is it the observational design? I'll give you 1 minute. Sige, bibigyan ko kayo ng ilang minuto para sagutin ang katanungang na yan. Okay, shout out kay Ma'am Rina Custodio. Thank you for watching, ma'am. Ngayon ko lang po kasi mga nababasa yung mga message ninyo. Okay, thank you for watching po. Ayan. So, anong sagot dito sa question na to? Okay. So, all right. Okay, so ngayon ko lang nababasa yung mga message nila. Pasensya, pasensya na po. Okay, so what is the answer? Best answer. Kasi ang tinatanong po mga ma'am and sir is, di ba ang tinutukoy natin dito is the word research design is best suit for investigating the cost and effect relationship between variables. Is it correlational design, experimental design, observational design, or descriptive design? So what is the correct answer dito sa question na to? Ano bang pinakatamang sagot? Is it experimental ba, cause and effect? Okay, very good. You got the correct answer, ma'am. Okay. Pag sinabi po natin, inire-relate po natin from cause and effect. Okay, investigating nga eh. From investigating the cause and effect relationship between variables. Ibig sabihin po, ang tinutukoy po sa research design na yan is experimental design. Bakit mali si letter A? Okay, erase natin. Bakit mali si letter A, mga ma'am and sir? Bakit mali si letter A? Bakit mali si letter C? And si letter D? Bakit mali ito? Let's start with correlational. Okay. Correlational design. Ano ba si correlational design, teachers? Kung aaralin natin. Ano-ano ba siya? Okay, lagi niyo pong tatandaan, mga ma'am and sir, pag sinabi natin correlational design, it is used or it is are used for identify the relationship between two or more variables. Okay? Ano nga ina-identify dito sa correlational? Two or more variables. O, two or more variables yan. Basta alam nyo na yan. Okay, two or more variables. Yun po yung ine-indicate ni correlational. So, ibig sabihin po niya, they do not establish accusation. The only one is to indicate whether a relationship they exist in the direction of the relationship, positive or negative. So for example po, they studying might find that the higher level of physical activity po are associated with a lower level of depression. So that's why it show a correlational design. Because that's correlational design po, it does not prove that they increased a physical activity by cause, decrease, and depression. Therefore, ang correlational design po are not suitable for establishing a cause and effect relation. Maliwanag po ba, mga ma'am and sir? Okay. Pag sinabi naman nating observational design, ano naman si observational design? Okay. Pag sinabing observational design, they can observe a subject in their natural environment. Maliwanag po ba, mga ma'am and sir? So, for example po dito, pag sinabing observation, ano siya? Observational design is observing a subject in their natural environment without a manipulation by the researcher. Okay, yun po yung observational. So, pag tayo nag-aaral based on this study, can provide a valuable insight into a behavior and condition as they occur in a real life. So, they do not allow the researcher to establish a cause and effect relationship. Due to what? Due to the lack of control over the variables and potential compounding factors. Kaya mali po si observational design. Pag sinabi nating descriptive design, descriptive. So, ibig sabihin ng descriptive design po, they aim to provide an overview or description of a characteristic within a population or a phenomenon without manipulating any variables. So, this descriptive design po, these studies may include a case studies or survey but do not test a hypothesis about a causal relationship. As a descriptive design po, they cannot be used to infer a causation. Wala rin po siyang cause and effect. Pag hinahanap natin yung dalawang variables na cause and effect, pasok na pasok po yan sa experimental design. Bakit po sa experimental design ang tamang sagot? Because experimental design are specifically structured for what? To the test of hypothesis. Okay? May hypothesis po sa experimental design. About what? About a causal relationship in experimental studies. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung researcher po, they manipulate one variable. Ito po yung tinatawag nating independent variable to observe the effect on another variable. Ito yung tinatawag naman natin na dependent variable. O, di ba? May cause and effect, dependent and independent variable. So, itong dalawang to, they controlling for what? For other factors that could influence the outcome. Para makita natin yung pinaka-outcome, mga madam and sir. So, based on this manipulation po, they allow the researchers to infer a causality. Why? It's because they can demonstrate what? The changes and the independent variable that lead to a change. For what? To the dependent variable. Alright, so for example, if the researcher po nag-conduct as an experimental, where they administer a new drug or a new drug to one group and place to another group when controlling for other variables. So that's why they can determine if the drug has a causal effect on the health outcomes. Katulad po yan sa research ko. Ang research ko is alcoholic beverages. So, bago po yan, inidetermine ko pa rin po dyan kung anong magiging epekto sa tao. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na dependent and independent variables para makita natin yung cause and effect ng nire-research natin. Okay, tandaan, pag nag-i-investigate tayo, pag nabasa si cause and effect, automatic, the answer is experimental design. The answer is letter B. Next. Which is the last step in 5S system? Ito, minsan ang tinutukoy dito, first step. Minsan naman, last step ang hinahanap ni PRC. O is it Citon, Siri, Setsuzuki, Siketsu? What is the answer? Anong sagot? Anong sagot? Sige nga, it is Citon ba? Si Citon ba? Si Setsuzuki ba? Ayan, si Siri ba? Okay, what is the correct answer in question natin? Number 5 na ata yan. Okay, so anong sagot? Number 6. Okay, so what is the answer, mga ma'am? Ano bang sagot natin dito? Si Siton ba? Si Siri ba? Si Shichizuki ba? Si Siketsu. Ayan. May mga tinatawag tayong Siketsu. So, based on this, anong sagot? Okay. So, okay. So, what is the answer? Okay, shout out kay Auntie Tintin, Christine Puntillas, kay Binay Bea Catherine. Thank you for watching. Okay. What? Okay, tingnan natin kung anong sagot dito. Sagot ng madlang people. A. Siton. Last step po ang tinutukoy natin ha. The last step. Ano yung last step? May 5S tayo. So, Siri, Siton, Seiso, Siketsu, and Shichizuki. Okay. So, pag ang tinahanap is the last step. Okay, last step ang hinahanap, di ba mga madam? Last step. Okay. So, teachers, ipapaalala ko, number 1 po is Siri. Okay, ano nga si number 1? Siri. First step po ito. Si Siri. Okay. First step. Ano si Siri? Ibig sabihin yan is sort. Okay? Ano nga sa sort? Siri is the first step. Teachers, it means sort. So, this step po, they involve identifying and eliminating unnecessary items from the workspace. Sinong pangalawa? Siton. Okay. So, letter A is pangalawa. Number 2 ito. Anong ibig sabihin ng siton? Sit and order. Ano nga ulit? Set and order. Order. Yan yung ibig sabihin ni siton. Pangalawa po siya. Anong ibig sabihin ng set and order? Okay, they focusing on what? On organizing and also arranging unnecessary item for easy access and use. O, anong pangatlo? Wala dyan. Si pangatlo po is si Seiso. O, the third is Seiso. Ito yung tinatawag nating Seiso. O, si Seiso po, mauuna si E bago si I. Seiso. Ibig sabihin po niyan is shine. Okay, pakintabin natin, shine. Yan po ang pangatlong step. Seiso. Shine. Ibig sabihin po niyan, teacher, that step, they emphasize for cleaning the workspace and also to maintain a cleanliness, especially for identifying any issue or abnormalities. Pang-apat po is Siketsu. Saan si pang-apat? Siketsu. Ito yung last ay pang-apat na step. Ibig sabihin po ng Siketsu is standardized. Ano nga po ulit to? Standardized. Okay. So, yun yung ibig sabihin niya ni Siketsu, standardized. Ibig sabihin, pag sinabing standardized, it is establish the standard procedure to sustain the improvement made in the first 3 steps. Nagawa ba yung tatlo na sunod-sunod pa? Pag last step po is si letter C. Sa 5S. Anong ibig sabihin ng Shichizuki? It is to sustain. Sustain. Ibig sabihin po niyan, it is what? The final step to ensure the practice they can establish in the previous step that are maintained over a time through what? through a self-discipline and also for the continuous improvement. So pag last step in 5S system ang hinahanap, isagot nyo si letter C. Okay? In-explain ko naman yung pagkasunod-sunod kanina. Next. Below are some of the events in Gagne's 9 event of instruction. O may nakikita kayong except 1. Which one is it? Below are some of the events in Gagne's 9 events of instructional except 1. Which one is it? Is it assessing performance, providing learning guidance, presenting stimulus, or providing answers? What is the correct answer? Yes po, lumalabas eh. Lumalabas po yan, yung 5S. Pag first step po, ang isasagot nyo doon is si kasi ang karamihan na tinatanong dyan ni PRC mga ma'am and sir, yung first and last step. Pag first step ang hinahanap, isagot nyo si Siri. Pag ang hinahanap naman is last step, isagot nyo si Shitsuki. Pag third step ang hinahanap teacher, isagot nyo si Seiso. Okay? Kasi minsan iba-iba po yan nila. Below are some of the events in Gagne's 9 event instruction except 1. Okay, very good. Sabi nila letter D is the correct answer. Except 1, providing answers. Okay, very good. Alam nyo na ha? Letter D is the correct answer. Below are the except 1, providing answers the answers. Now 1. Which branch of horticulture refers to production of fruits and nut crops? Ito po ay tumutukoy naman sa production of fruits and nut crops. Is it pomology, floriculture, agriculture, olericulture? Sige nga. Nakapokus po siya sa horticulture. It is preparing for the production of fruits and nuts. Pomology, floriculture, agriculture, olericulture. What is the answers? What is the answers? I'll give you 1 minute para pag-aralan yan. Fruits and nuts. Fruits and nuts daw po, mga ma'am and sir. Okay, so what is the answers? Okay, so teachers, the answer here is very good, Ma'am Marietta. Is it pomology? Okay, very good. The answer is letter A, pomology. Very good. Pomology. Bakit? Si floriculture is mali. Si floriculture po, it is cultivation of flowers. Okay. Si ano naman, agriculture, the term agriculture po, it is the broader term that encompasses all form of farming. Kaya nga tinawag nating agriculture. So, hindi po siya naka-specific as a branch of horticulture. Okay, si olericulture naman, si letter D po, it is the cultivation of vegetables. Okay, ito naman, si olericulture, it is the cultivation of vegetables. Okay. Vegetables. Okay. Si agriculture is in the form of farming. Okay, pag fruits and nut crops, it is referring for the pomology. Oh, how about this one? Which branch of horticulture referring to growing of vegetables? Nadi-discuss ko pa lang kanina. The answer is letter B. Olericulture. Kasi si pomology, nuts and fruits. Nuts and fruits po ito. And fruits. Si farming naman po is talks about for agriculture. And si floriculture naman, it is talks about what? Flowers. Okay, kaya the answer is letter B. Pag vegetables ang pinag-uusapan natin. Next, which solar collector is capable of producing voltage when exposed to a radiant energy? Okay, producing voltage when exposed to a radiant energy. Is it photoelectric effect, electron emission system, photosolar, or photovoltaic system? So, anong sagot dito? Which solar collector is capable of producing a radiant energy? Radiant energy po ang hahanapin natin. Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Marietta. The answer is letter D. Very good. Photovoltaic system. Bakit siya po ang tamang sagot? Bakit si letter D? Kasi si letter D po, ito ay system referring to a technology that convert a sunlight direct to a electricity. So that's why they will use ang photovoltaic system po, ginagamitan natin ng semiconductor materials. Okay, so ano yon? Ito po yung mga ini-exhibit natin that provide a photovoltaic effect. So when photons from sunlight strike from materials that excite electrons by creating electrons as a whole or pairs, they generate an electric current when the materials is connected in a circuit. So that's why this process po will establish a form that basis of a modern solar electricity generation. So si photosolar po is not widely recognized. Hindi pa po siya nare-recognize as a scientific literature or industry standards. Okay, because this technology po can be converting a solar energy into electrical energy. That's why it is referring to a general sinasabi nating technologies that related to the solar power but lacks of specificity regarding for the voltage production. Kaya hindi pa po nire-recognize si photosolar. Okay po, teachers. So, si letter A naman, photoelectric effect. Anong ibig sabihin yan? It is referring for the phenomenon where the electron are emitted a materials. Okay. So they can absorb or other electromagnetic radiation. So that's why photoelectric effect po, it is a very fundamental understanding of light can generate as a electrical energy. So, hindi po siya directly nagre-refer for a type of a collector of a voltage, especially for the radiant energy. So, si po electron emission system naman, sa letter B, mali po siya kasi kumbaga, it can generally involves to release an electron from a materials due to a various form of energy input. Okay, so they can including po sa letter B yung thermal or radiant energy. However, itong term na po ito is very broad. So, ibig sabihin, hindi po siya naka-specify to describe a solar technology design for generating a technology from a sunlight. So, the correct answer po is letter D. So, teachers, ayan, thank you po sa panunood. Okay, so this is our pre-live discussion session. Yes po sir, evening po nagla-live po ako sa aking sa aking channel. Ito po TL Let Review channel. Okay. Pa-follow na lang po ako sa mismong YouTube channel ko kasi doon din po ako nagbibigay ng drills, mga live drills, and also sa Maestra Bicolana TL Itambayan page. So, everyday po nagkakaroon ako ng mga pre-live discussion. Malaking tulong po ito sa mga self-review dyan na magte-take ngayong September 2025 board examination. I hope po natuto po kayo rito sa discussion natin. Okay, so by the way, tomorrow, same schedule, same time. They will start at 7:30 again. Yung drills natin, abang po dyan sa ating mga drills. Yes po, everyday po akong nagla-live. Okay, pakitap po ako sa mga kakilala ninyo, mga kaibigan ninyo na magte-take po ng board examination. Okay, palike and share po ng ating live discussion ngayon, and then paki-subscribe po ako sa mismong YouTube channel ko. Ang pangalan po ng YouTube channel ko is Maestra Bicolana TL Itambayan. Kung ano po ang nakikita nyo dyan na Maestra Bicolana TL Itambayan, yan po ang mismong name ng aking YouTube channel. Ganon din po sa page ko, nakalagay din po is Maestra Bicolana TLE Tambayan. Okay, so teachers, maraming salamat po sa pakikinig. Alright, so tomorrow may drills na naman tayo. Antay lang po kayo sa mga drills ko po. Thank you so much and God bless sa lahat ng magti-take ngayong September. Thank you po. Ako po ay magpapaalam na at marami rin po si Ma'am Grace na gagawin. By the way, it's me, Maestra Bicolana. Mas kilala po ako sa pangalang Teacher Grace. Ayan. Okay. So, alright teachers, maraming salamat po sa mga nanood. Okay. So, ayan, sa mga gustong kumuha ng mga ang soft copy ko po is worth of 50 pesos. Okay, sa mga gustong mag-avail, message na lang po, 50 pesos only. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Thank you po. Bye-bye.